Original question: does eating meat hinder spiritual awakening? Lots of good answers already. So I will do my best to not repeat. Christian answer: clean natural foods are important. But first, a spiritual awakening does require a person to be clean, righteous and holy. All without pride, ego, supremacy, arrogance and entitlements. All which is only seen and accepted by God only. There is a reason why sackcloth will be the clothing of the witnesses. They will be sinless and/or flee from all sins. They will be aware and are able to discern the half-truths and deceptions from the fallen angels and other unforgiven entities, while also aware of the great delusion sent by God to the whole world. The spiritual gifts will be known through those spiritually awakened people by the Holy Spirit. For they each will know that these exercised powers is directly from the Holy Spirit and not from them. Back to meat. Once a person is truly spiritually awakened, that person discovers that animals do have their own personalities, their own emotions, communication methods and their own thinking processes. Once a spiritually awakened person discovers this, how can you hunt an animal which loves their own children as much as you? How can you kill a mother or father animal simply because it is defined as harvestable? After all, isn't our spirits or our true selves confined in the bodies of these human animals? For even Balaam had an intellectual conversation with a donkey once the angel present opened Balaam's eye. Which one could say the donkey always had the ability to speak whereas the human could not perceive? Worldly or anti-Christian answer: the spiritual world, the psychic powers, witchcraft, magicians and sorceries are all real. Those fallen angels who pretend and have pretended to gods are incredibly far more powerful than any human being. Even the Holy Bible claims that we humans are less than worms or maggots. They can do everything that we lowly humans can imagine, and yet they all remain unforgiven by the Christian and Jewish God in which all of the fallen and unforgiven must obey. They can give spiritual powers to whomever they please. If invited, these disembodied spirits can enter to do as they see fit. Being clean can be a stumbling block for the spirits. When the spirits encounter a human which is taking into their bodies any alcohol, drug or mind-altering medication, no matter the legality or cultural acceptance, the spirit can gain entry and begin to do as they will. Even commit terrible acts with their new human host. Then when the human host goes to jail, the spirits leave as their evil fun is now gone, leaving behind a human who has no clue why he would ever do such a terrible thing. But that former human host will sit in jail until they die or is executed. Foods are also important, as even the meat contains the spirit and lifeblood of the animal. The meats and blood dedicated to the gods and then consumed is similar to a blessing of the foods. As far as those who do become spiritually awakened absent of the Christian and Jewish God, avoiding any meat is unimportant, including human meat and blood cannibalism, which has been sacrificed to the gods, in which those gods may reward their most dedicated followers with additional powers. That is until their gods get bored or abandon you or decide to let all of you perish. Even if you have been their perfect obedient slave, the gods will manipulate the emotions and will humanity so as to cause humanity to decide to kill ourselves or just yourself by your own human hands. Because the final intent of the fallen angels is to end all of humanity. That is the unforgiven ones and fallen angels' bottom line. The end of humanity. Check the histories around the world for more evidence. If I may get a bit personal in my answer here for a moment or two, I have been on every side of this question through the decades. I was a strict vegetarian and did 10-day fasts. I have worked with herbs and juices and this and that and you name it. I did the toxin cleanses and would have taken a shuttle to Andromeda if I had to. I was in high school when I began this experimentation. My mother was always asking me why I couldn't be like other girls. I experimented with a variety of concepts when it came to eating, being truly devoted to doing all possible pathways to purify my body. At times I made myself very sick and learned valuable lessons about forcing self-discipline when my body truly needed food or some type of food I was not allowing it. I learned a great deal the hard way. Meanwhile, I had friends who ate anything they pleased. They were fine. They were having great meditations. They were rolling right along beside me. I finally woke up to the reality that your body tells you what it needs. This to my own perception is the higher path. But it requires discipline and devotion in its own right. You must trust yourself. Sometimes you actually do need that piece of chocolate. There is something to what you crave. One must be conscious in the moment and learn to listen to the body, which initially takes a bit of effort. Listening to the body is a matter of feeling it. Feel the cells in every part of your body and ask them what they need. Soon it just takes no time at all. And if something doesn't taste good, even if it should, toss it. Your body truly is telling you something that mama just didn't know yet. One must watch and be aware of how the body responds to foods. Discomfort, feeling low, blue, agitated or nauseated etc., after eating them could be a sign that the body is being challenged, not nurtured by what you are eating. And food allergies? That goes without saying. Your body is highly intelligent. Every cell within your body is ingenious in its form and function and has total memory of the initial blueprint of what creates a healthy physical structure. It is ingenious in its ability to be in synergy with all other cells and functions. It knows what it needs and wants. These cells do communicate with you. Some follow strict belief systems based upon their religious affiliation. I however perceive this to be controlling and forcing all to follow what can be healthy really to only a percentage of them. Still they will experience and learn. Again, my goal is not to judge. Your belief that something can harm you will possibly be more harmful to your body than the thing itself. What the mind is focused upon, it empowers. On another note, there are other issues to consider as well. I myself have a very difficult time with animal cruelty. It utterly does me in, and many have been the times I have bent over weeping at the sight of it. Not to judge this issue as one of the hardest things I attempt to accomplish, even though I know the animals are also more than their physical bodies and would not forever be bound to their pain. Still I cannot stand it. My work is cut out for me. I humbly must accept this challenge and strive for higher love born of seeing the bigger picture. Still I believe animals deserve all of the love and respect we can possibly fathom. We live here with them, not to dominate, but to learn and share and coexist. It is we humans who have not en masse learned this, one of the simplest lessons of kindness, decency and respect. There is a saying by Mahatma Gandhi, the greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated. I would have preferred he say, discerned, rather than judged, but that is way beside the point. So finally I arrive at my answer to you. Follow your heart and listen to your body. Experiment as you feel inspired. But do not let others tell you what you should do. They can only know what is right for them. I have witnessed people who need protein from meat but force abstinence and become very ill eating a diet of only fruits and a few types of veggies. I have witnessed people become ill eating meat as well. There may be extenuating circumstances that require you need certain foods or medical situations that require you don't eat certain foods. Bottom line, be wise and aware. Don't follow trends. Be your own person and create your own pathway in this respect. That is what I would say. Again, our consciousness affects how our body responds to food as much as the food itself.